Go by cemetery. Two to three, go home, change clothes, pick up some snacks on the way. Geodis. Oh, can you do that? How do you share yourself and not be serious? Because it's just dick. How do I? Oh. So.
Ṣé dáadáa lẹ́wà?
Adúpẹ́ o. Oh, your sound is really low and I don't think I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Ilé ńkọ́?
Adúpẹ́, ilé wà dáadáa. Ọmọ yín ńkọ́, ìyàwó ńkọ́?
Àlàáfíà ni wọ́n wà.
Ó dà bẹ́ẹ̀. Iṣẹ́ ńkọ́?
It's good too.
Báwo lẹ ṣe máa sọ yẹn Yorùbá?
Iṣẹ́ mi, dáadáa ni iṣẹ́ mi wà.
Dáadáa ni iṣẹ́ mi wà. Iṣẹ́ mi ń lọ dáadáa. Going well as well. You can use that.
Adúpẹ́.
Oda, I saw a couple of messages in the group about those that are not coming.
Yes. Yeah, I'm driving. I don't know how to say that in Yoruba.
Oda, Munwako. You say Munwako.
Wako.
It's okay. So Adetayo, can we just move on since it's going to be recorded? Although we need the class to be interactive as well.
I think we can move. I think we can do it, and people just will see the recording.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oda, so I'm just going to share my screen and then we'll get started. So Adetayo, please, can you be as responsive as possible since there are no people in class?
Benny.
Oda. So, Ekabosi, the 5th week of our class, and I'm sure it has been so exciting so far. Yeah, so nobody, we don't have a lot of people in class today, so it's going to be quite short, I guess, right?
Benny.
Okay, so we have some keywords today, and phrases that I want you to add to your vocabulary. It should be things you should always say when you mean these things. So the first one is mumbo. Mumbo. So whenever okay, thank you for muting yourself. So whenever you need to leave the class or you need to excuse yourself, you just have to say mumbo and then you can leave. So you can say stuff like Ejo, mumbo, please, I am coming. Emma Binu, mumbo, I'm sorry, I'm coming. And I want you to include these 3 conjunctions in your vocabulary. We have ati, we have shugmo, and then we have belu. Ati is and. Shugmo is but. Shugmo, shugmo. Belu is with. Ati, shugmo, and belu. So I intended to ask everybody out to say, I am sorry, I forgot, but it's okay. We're just going to move on now. So in this class, we want to learn how to speak for ourselves and for others. So it means we'll be learning our pronouns. We'll be using our pronouns to express the things we've learned in the past couple of weeks. And we have the subject pronouns here that I want you to pay attention to. I will need you to pay attention to this. So let's take a look. For your pronouns, it can be singular if it's just about one person each, and it can be plural if it's more than one person. I, mo. The mo we say in sentences like mumbo, mo fẹ́ jẹun, mo máa sùn, mo máa ṣiṣẹ́. Mo is I. And if you remember vividly, when the sentences changes to negative, we switch from mo to me. Mi ò ní jẹun. Mi ò ní sùn. N kò ní ẹ̀gbọ́n. N kò ní àbúrò. Remember, we switch in between me and it's all good. And for you, it is O. O is you. But that is informal. You cannot say O to somebody older than you or somebody you should respect, like your Oluwo, for example. You can't say O ma sun, O ma jeun to them. You have to say to them. E kò ní sùn, you will not sleep. Or ẹ ò ní sùn, you will not sleep. Ẹ máa jẹun, you will eat. Ẹ máa ṣeré, you will play. Ẹ máa jáde, you will go out. So it means in this case, the person you're talking to, you're facing the person and telling the person you will do something. But if the person you're talking to, it's like the person you're talking about is not there, the person is the third person. You're not talking to them directly, but you're talking about them. Then we switch to O. Did you notice I had to raise my hand for you to know that this is the high tone? So this here for you is O. But for the high tone, it is O. So when you're saying he or she, it's always the high tone. O. O máa wá, he or she will come. Ó máa lọ, he or she will leave. Ó máa sọ̀rọ̀, he or she will speak. Ó máa jáde, he or she will go out. You have to put it in mind as well that if you're talking about animals, you use O as well. But when it comes to the case where you have to respect the person again, the honorific, the formal, then we switch to moi. So instead of saying oh, we'll be saying moi. Wọ́n máa wá, he or she older, he or she formal will come. Wọ́n máa lọ, he or she formal or older will go. Wọ́n sọ Yoruba, he or she is speaking Yoruba. So you have to notice that we cannot use one for pets, like animals. I know there will be cases where a particular animal is actually older than a person. You're not going to respect the animal because it's an animal. You have to use the informal for such pets. But one is for humans, honorific. Now, the interesting thing about these pronouns is that once you know the singular, the informal and the formal, you automatically know the singular and the plural, because the only thing you need to worry about is we, which is are. We are. You can see that for you all, you plural, you can see that we are replicating what we said for the formal. It's still a. So it means what you say to an elder, what you say to an older person is the same thing you say to more than one person. So you don't have to worry about saying, what would I say for this? What would I say for this? The same thing applies to they. What would you would say for he or she older, he or she formal, is what you will say for they as well. I hope you understand that. Corinthia, Adetayo, I hope you understand that.
Benny.
Oda. So I'm just going to move on. Remember the rule we mentioned last class and the last couple of weeks. I've been saying this rule over and over again, and I'll keep saying it so that everyone, sorry, please. So I'm going to keep saying it so that everyone does not forget this. You always have to say si before a place. And you always have to say ni before a time, or before a date, or before a place, when you mean in that place or at the place. So let us look at this example. Mò ń gbìyànjú. Mò ń gbìyànjú. I am trying. Mò ń gbìyànjú is I am trying. How do you say you are trying? Considering that you is O for your mates and E for an elder or somebody you should respect. How do you say you are trying?
So if it's an elder, you can say Mbionju.
Mbionju. And that applies to you all as well.
Mm-hmm. And then if it's someone who's a peer or age mate, you would say Mbionju.
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 We have to pay attention to the tone as well, because if we don't pronounce that well, you will end up saying he or she is trying instead of you are trying. So I'm going to say it now. Mbionju, you are trying. Mbionju, he or she is trying. Did you see that the play here is with the tones? So we have to make sure that we're saying the tones correctly. The good thing with this tone is that in this case, for you, it goes down. For he or she, it goes up. You are. He or she is. So I hope this is clear. Let us look at the negation of this, the negative. Remember that we have 3 ways to say this same thing. Mi ò gbìyànjú is one. Corinthia, can you remember another one?
Mi ò ní gbìyànjú.
You are saying, I am not trying. I don't want you to change the mi ò gbìyànjú. I want you to give me another way to say it. Because I taught you more than one way to negate it.
Okay. Is it Mon beyond you or Wan beyond you? Or
Arao. I'm not talking about you changing the pronoun now. We're still talking about I, okay? Remember
okay.
that I told you that I is mo. In the
Mo.
negative, I is me. It can also be the N that you don't pronounce. That's sound.
Mm.
So it means
Okay.
it's either you say me or gbìyànjú, or you say or gbìyànjú, or
No beyond you.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni, or even kò gbìyànjú.
Uncle beyond you.
Yeah. So it means I am not trying. We can say mi ò gbìyànjú, ò gbìyànjú, kò gbìyànjú, all three for the same thing.
Okay.
Now, if we want to keep changing it, we want to say you are not trying, he or she is not trying, they are not trying, we are not trying. Can you tell me any two from those?
Oh, then that would be a one beyond you, or beyond you, or
Or gbìyànjú.
or beyond you.
You need that O.
Oh, okay. So we just or beyond you, one or beyond you,
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. A ò gbìyànjú.
I or beyond you. Okay.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Oda. But there's a quick note I would like to make for this particular one. And the reason why this note is important is this. When you're saying he or she, there's an exception. Remember that I said he or she informal is O, right?
Oh.
The high tone O. But unfortunately, when it is negative, we don't say O anymore. You just say ko for he or she. Ko. He or she informal only. So Ogbìyànjú is going to be he or she did not try.
Ko beyond you.
Ogbìyànjú, the ko is low.
Ko beyond you.
Bẹ́ẹ̀.
The way I always remember that one because it would be confusing to say beyond beyond you. It would be a little bit confusing.
It's going to be very confusing. And also, you can't say oh. You can't say oh beyond. So it has to be cool. But this applies only to the he or she informal. Please put it in mind. The he or she formal is still going to be the same structure we've been learning, we started with. It's going to be wọ́n ò gbìyànjú.
One beyond two.
Wọ́n ò. Remember that the O.
One O.
And you can say wọ́n kò. If you say wọ́n kò, maybe that will help. Wọ́n kò gbìyànjú.
One ko beyond you.
They did not, he or she did not try at all, or they did not try at all. Wọ́n kò gbìyànjú. So we need to put this in mind. The informal requires you not to put it at all in the negative. Just start with school. I'm going to put this in the slide later. Oda. So I'm going to move on now. Corinthia, I hope you understood everything I just mentioned.
Yes. I mean, Benny.
Okay, I was just about to say, yes, I'll be Benny. Oda. So really, that is all for the class. The class was supposed to be very interactive so that everybody would tell me their own and what is really supposed to be. So I'm going to go back again and do a recap of what I have mentioned in this class before I mention the homework. So remember that for your pronouns, mo is I, me is I negative.
Okay.
Can be I positive or negative, even though it is so crazy. So let's just put it for negative. For negative, me for negative, mo for positive.
Okay.
For you, it is O, informal, E, formal. And for your third person, it is O for informal, One for formal.
One.
Ó ń gbìyànjú. Wọ́n ń gbìyànjú.
One kò gbìyànjú.
Ẹ̀ ń gbìyànjú. Ò ń gbìyànjú. Mò ń gbìyànjú. À ń gbìyànjú. Ẹ̀ ń gbìyànjú. Wọ́n ń gbìyànjú. So you have to take extra time to watch what I have mentioned about this pronoun earlier. Watch that part very well so that you can attempt the sentences. So the homework really is that you're going to tell 10 things other people are doing and 10 things they are not doing. I mean, 10 things they are doing and not doing in Yoruba. So I expect 5. You are not saying for I am at all. You are using your pronouns. He or she is, you are, we are, they are. Do the same for the negative. I hope you understand that clearly.
Benny.
Oda. Adetayo, I hope you understand that too.
Oyemi dada.
Oda. So that is it basically for class today. I hope to receive all the homeworks. And please, you sent your homework before yesterday, the previous one. Please resend it. I lost a lot of data. So you have to please resend it.
Esheun.
Odabo.
Any nice weekend.
Odabo.
Esheun. Odabo.
Odabo.